Hey everybody. Welcome to another episode. Well, it's not really an episode. It's early and the lighting outside is terrible. Terrible. And I'm trying very hard to keep kind of my voice down. My husband's sick. We think he has the flu because he can still taste and smell everything. But we went to the rodeo yesterday for the second time. And it's a big deal in our town. Huge deal in our town. And I've been releasing shorts, mostly just showing, the pictures and stuff that I took while I was there. And then I just wanted to follow up with a couple of more little tidbits after going and experiencing it. It is so much fun to see these people and their passion and just what they do, but it is also terrifying. These people are nuts. I mean, they've got to have a screw loose, but like in the best way. We were watching the little kids on the sheep, right? They were holding on to them. I think it's called mutton riding or mutton racing or I'm sorry, I don't know all the terminology, but I was sitting there. I don't even have children. I have a dog, and I was terrified for these little children. I mean, they were like 3, 4, 5 years old. I mean, they were little, and they were, I have a picture. I'm gonna include it in this. Hopefully I just found it and put it up somewhere, but it's a little girl walking with her mom with a little number on her back and the tiniest little cowgirl you ever saw. But she was riding one of those sheep. Nuts. I don't know how these parents are like, yeah, hop on that. But you know what? They grew up around this. This is normal for them. And anyway, I mean, I just have the utmost respect for them all. I think that they're just fantastic. But so when I was doing this and sort of started to research a little bit more about rodeos and stuff, because it fascinates me. It blows my mind. My glasses are glaring so bad. I'm so sorry. But anyway, so I ran into the story. Who I've also been putting shorts up about is Lane Frost. Aunt Lane Clyde Frost, to be exact. But he died, sadly, after doing his 8 seconds in Cheyenne in 1989 at the actually, you know what? Let me just tell a little bit about a story first, and then it'll come out while I tell you. But have you ever heard of the movie 8 Seconds? I'm sure if you're into bull riding or if you were like me into 90210 and you like Luke Perry, then somehow you would have crossed paths with this movie. It's really, really good, but it's basically like the life story of Lane. And he was a remarkable guy. I mean, he died at 25, and he left behind a barrel racing wife, Kelly Kiley, and who's now gone on and, she's a mom and remarried and stuff. God bless her. But, okay, I'm just going to tell you, he was a professional bull rider and he was champion in the 1980s, okay? And as he grew up, he traveled the professional rodeo circuit. And along the way, I mean, he had his best friends, Tuff and Cody. And Tuff, Hedeman is actually, or Hedeman, I know he doesn't, I don't think he still rides today, but he did something extraordinarily special for Lane in his memory. So I'll talk about that in a minute too. But anyway, this unbelievable story about him is that, and it's said by almost anyone they interviewed or anyone that was portrayed in the movie, Lane was just a great guy. People say sometimes that he was one of the nicest guys ever to be in the profession, and just whenever you were around him, you just felt like a better person. And he always made you feel like you were so important to him, and and everything. And Tuff always says that, he's like, he was my best friend. He's like, but I think I was in like his top 5 because he had so many friends. And he misses him a lot. But he, like I said, he fell in love with a barrel racer, Kelly Kiley, and they married in 1984. Now his story definitely has its ups and downs, as it does with the rodeo. It's a hard life. I mean, these guys are badass, but it's a hard life. And you gotta excuse me for a second. I've got to take it's very early. Now, I'll tell you this. Um, I have alarms going off everywhere. It's like so early in the morning, but and it's raining. That's another reason why I'm like, okay, so they married in ups and downs and during the cowboy life. Okay. And then he also put a lot of pressure on himself. He wanted to be what everybody, said he was the best or one of the best to ever, ride bulls. And took a lot of pressure on himself and wanted to be what everyone saw in him. And during his ascent to the 1987 Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association Bull Riding World Championship, Lane is he's got a challenge. He's his wife. There's there were some things that had to be forgiven. She stepped out of the marriage, but because of just how close they were and how strong of a relationship they had, they did work through that. But I mean, he had a near broken back during this time too, and he had to work through a lot of things to struggle to get back. And he also had this, it says it's a true life drama between himself and this bull called Red Rock. And it was a bull that no cowboy had ever stayed on for 8 seconds. Now, 8 seconds is the amount of time you have to stay on in order to have a qualifying ride on a bull. Fuck, I can't even look at a bull for 8 seconds, never mind ride one. Anyway, so he, oh wait, hang on a second. Excuse me, I forgot the spot about it. The film that I watched, 8 Seconds, which I do highly recommend. It's fantastic, but they break it into 3 rides. And in 1989, this is the one, Lane is the second to last bull rider during the last day of that year's Cheyenne Frontier Days rodeo, okay? Now, he successfully rides the bull, named Taking Care of Business for 8 seconds, and dismounts. Great, he's no harm, no foul, but the bull then turns on him, okay, and smokes him. And that's actually a term they use, and smokes him in the side. And he ended up cracking ribs and being and severing an artery. So he internally bled to death right there in the ring. So he did that in front of a whole audience of people. And Lane, he couldn't, they couldn't get him to the hospital in time. I mean, there was just no way, Now, the final scene they show is after the fact. Lane's passed away, and it's been about a week. And his friend Tuff, his best friend Tuff, was at the national finals rodeo riding for the world championship. And after he had said, I'm going to put up a clip, because I have a clip out there somewhere in the ether, maybe on Facebook though. And he had said he's going to ride an extra 10 seconds for Lane. You understand how hard that is. First, you got to stay on for your 8 seconds to qualify. And then honestly, talking about it again, I'm thinking about how I reacted when I watched the movie. So I cried the ugliest cry you could ever imagine. And I mean, just, it was heartbreaking, but also amazing. Tuff rode his 8 seconds, and then he just kept going, just took his hat off. And there are links below. Okay, I have links below that, it's got Tuff's ride for Lane, And if you can get through it without shedding a tear, then you're my hero, because it's just, I don't even know how that's possible, to be quite honest with you. And I also have a interview that I linked in there of Tuff talking about Lane, and it's pretty recent. So Tuff's a little, Tuff's older and stuff like that. Um, and I find, honestly, the cowboy mentality uh, fascinating. They're a tough breed, and they're used to keeping everything close to the vest. And you know, you wonder how, like Tuff even said, he says, I didn't talk to my wife about how much pain I was in. I mean, he still to this day has a really hard time talking about it, because Tuff was with him. He was in the ambulance with him, and I mean, it's like he was right there always. They were always together. And I think I'm showing either a movie, or I am going to be showing you a movie, and I have the other links below, but you'll see. I mean, Lane really affected this entire I don't know what you call it, the rodeo in general. I mean, it's an amazing like I said before, way of life. And these guys are just, they're the real deal, like Ty Murray, who's a great bull rider. He says, I don't care about going down in history as a great bull rider or bronc rider. I hope people will remember me for being a great cowboy. They take it so seriously. This is a way of life. This is their way of life. John Branch said, rodeo careers can end without warning as quick as the next try at an 8-second ride. Ralph Carpenter, I don't really know who these people are, but their quotes were kind of profound to me. It says, the rodeo ain't over till the bull riders ride. It's so true. Still wrenches your heart, though, because you're just like waiting. You're half waiting for the next rider, and then the other half of you is like, I don't want to see the next rider. What if something happens? But Ralph Clark said, anyone who has ever experienced the thrill of rodeo life wishes it could go on forever. And if you ever get a chance to go to a rodeo, you will see what he's meaning. These guys are like, there's a part of them that it's so apparent, and they have so much pride, and they work so hard, and for so many, I mean, from when they were little, right? Like, as I'm telling you, these little kids are riding sheep. Those same kids are going to be riding bucks and, and doing all sorts of stuff as they get older. And oh my God, you got to be you're a cut above the rest, I'm telling you. John Wayne, we know John Wayne, the Duke. He said, courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway. I love that. And then Lane Frost said, actually, one unknown quote I really liked was, a man isn't born a cowboy, he becomes one. Wow, that's true. And then Lane Frost said, true cowboys are the ones who aren't afraid to get dirty. And oh my God. Well, yesterday, like I told you, it's raining. It's always raining here now, apparently. That's a thing. But the skies opened up and it started to rain. And I mean, it takes the difficulty level to a whole nother realm, because now it's muddy and slippery and all that shit. So these guys don't give a fuck. So anyway, I have a couple of videos I'm showing you, and again, those are my shorts too. These are the videos you're seeing are part of, they're on my channel as well, so you can click on those. They're really short, as you can see, and stuff, but I just wanted to share it with you. I really think that you do yourself some service to watch 8 seconds. Take an hour and a half and watch it. It's amazing. And Luke Perry does such a great job, and he looks so much like Lane Frost. It's crazy. Well, I think I have a picture up of Luke and Lane side by side. Obviously, they weren't side by side because Lane was already gone, but you can see how much they look alike. And Lane's widow, Kelly, and Tuff thought they thought it was a wonderful tribute to Lane, and they let all the ugly stuff in too. Nobody's perfect, and like Kelly said, she's like, I let the infidelity stuff in because it was part of us. It was part of what we went through, and showed you just how great Lane was, and he was so forgiving and wonderful. And I am. And these cowboys are great. I mean, they're amazing, and they're a lot of fun to watch. And but they are scary to watch because I'm just one of those people. I worry about everybody. So, but I'm glad I got to go, and I'm glad I got to share this with you because it's a fucking blast. It really is. It's a blast. So, giddy on up, and if you can get to a rodeo, go. And until the next time, I hope you're staying happy and healthy, and stay weird, and take care. Bye.